well. So I've spent yesterday putting like the motor together and a couple of little bits in, and yeah, it was a long day building the motor, a lot of individual little parts, and of course I hand painted everything as I do. So anyway, this is part 3, and I'll show you what's happening.
Hi, Hippy Trev here, and welcome to my channel. Hope you get something out of it.
There's the motor. I don't know what I can do as far as quality of shots here. So this is the motor, and you wouldn't believe, just sort of potting through from start to finish, this pretty much it pretty much took all day. And these cameras don't pick up, but like every individual part is hand painted before I actually put it on. I do paint it on the tree now. Hang on. So every part of this individual part is has been hand painted. I don't know if you can see those little green pipes and all that. Everything on this side of the motor had to be built, each side of it, piece by piece. All the heads and everything had to go together. And I had a fair bit of time waiting for the glue. Now the sad part about all this is, so I spent all this time building this motor and putting a lot of time into it and painting every part. And the sad part is this fan goes in on the top. So, I mean, once that goes in on top, it's not properly there yet. You sort of lose, once that goes in on top, you sort of lose all the detail of everything I've done in there. Like all that individual parts of, yeah, shadow. All the individual parts that I've painted and put together, it sort of all just disappears. And not only that, a lot of it's going to disappear when it heads down into the back of there. And a lot of this is also going to disappear when it goes into the, sits into the frame of the tank there. All the little bits of hand painted bits that I've done, all hand painted bits here, there, everywhere, all this gets covered in. And same, so that went in yesterday as well, so I painted that up and put that in. A few extra parts here, just gone in. Now, I lost the little steering wheel. Somehow, oh, that's what I forgot to tell you too. The tracks are on. The tracks are actually on. Fixed into position, but they're on. And actually that turned out to not be as bad as I first thought it was going to be. Once I got the sequence right, I'll just move this. Go. And using this little frame they give you, that you build the track around using the front and like your front drive, or sorry. So yeah, you use your front drive sprocket, your rear idler wheel, you put them on, and then as you glue your tracks together, you put it on this framework, and you can work out exactly how many of these between part number, well, I think that was part 5. That was part 1. This big long track was 1. That was 5. Then you got 2 short bits and part number 2 each, and in between that you had to build all the individual tracks join by join. I showed you in the last video. There's all the little bits there. That's what it looks like when you've got a few joined together. And so you join them like that. So on this side there was 9 individual joiners on the small side, and on the dry side there was 10 individual joiners, which actually makes 20. So you got your track, your joiner, your track, your joiner, your track, your joiner. Same here, you got your joiner, your track, joiner, track, joiner, track, joiner, all the way around. So getting that track on turned out to be a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So anyway, and it came out quite good. So back to what I'm saying. So, and these frames, yeah, I do have to add again, these frames for building the track, what a great idea. I'm going to hang on to them, who knows when I might need them again. So anyway, as I was saying, all this stuff starts disappearing, like oh, and that's what I was saying also. I lost the steering wheel. That's what I'm getting back to. I lost the steering wheel by putting the tracks on. And I hunted the bus, and I mean, it's only a tiny little thing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I was outside sweeping the dirt where I might have swept it, and I come up with this piece from somewhere else, and I thought, oh, I'll make that the steering wheel. So I've actually got a steering wheel back. But what I'm trying to say is, all right, what I'm getting back to, all this individual work that you go into building the model and painting it, once you put the cover on, once you get your cover on, once you put your cover on, and then you put your hatches on, then you put your turret on, and then you put your back covers on, all the hours and effort you've put into building this tank thus far disappears from sight, and only you know that you've done that. Same with the motor, that'll disappear from sight with all the cowling and that. Same with the inside turret. I'm going to do all this work painting all the pieces for the inside turret and the guns and everything that goes into place, and of course once it all gets installed in the tank, you never see it again. But I guess for personal, you know, you've had the pleasure of building, and that's I guess what we're looking forward to. So most of yesterday was just spent putting that engine together and a few other little bits and pieces that went into the model. But yeah, it was a slow day yesterday, but I don't mind. But I got all the individual parts of the motor built and everything and painted. So no work getting done today. Just back from a bike run from Bundy, so I'll probably get back into it tomorrow. And I've got a few things to build, and I've got a few things to add on to the back of there, and then I think I'm close to starting the turret, which is a whole another section again. So anyway, I'll show you more as we get further on later. Hey world, so we're back, and it's been at least a week. Well, up until a couple of days ago, it's been at least a week since I've even touched the model. It's just been so cold, so wet, so damp. I just didn't trust my fingers with putting it together. So where I'm at the moment is basically most of the bottom half of the tank is built, and I'll show you some photos of progression along the way. So yeah, I'm sort of at the stage now where most of the tub's been built, and most of the fiddly, and yeah, a lot of stuff just disappears. As I was saying earlier, I'll try and lift this up. So a lot of stuff like in behind them boxes is just a lot of small hoses and a lot of delicate bits I've painted, and as you put things on and everything just starts getting covered up. Even like this little box that went in today, underneath there was pipes and hoses, and you know, it's just all disappeared now. So but anyway, so the bottom half of the tank's pretty much done. Now the next stage is where it's going to be so slow going. I'm going to start putting all the ammunition together, and I'll tell you why it's going to be slow. So I'm just about to put the floor decking in the bottom, which goes in the bottom here, which means not nearly most of all this that I've put in, all that actually is going to be covered. So that's the next stage, get all that ready, prepped and painted, and then I've got to do the ammunition. And there's a fair bit to it, and I don't know if you can pick this up in the light. So not only does all the ammunition have to be painted, like bottom part of the casings, what different colour heads for all the different sort of ammunition it carries. What they've given me, what you get, is this chrome sheet, and every little one of these circles needs to be cut out and stuck on the base of there. How long is that going to take me to cut all this out and glue it to the bottom of all them missiles? It's taken me nearly 2 weeks just to get to this stage. So anyway, worlds, that's the next part of okay world, so that's where we're at the moment. This is stage 3 of putting the King Tiger together. I have to actually say, so far, even the small delicate bits which I thought would be hard to get into place, most of this model's going together really, really well. And out of all the models I've built so far, I can probably say this is probably one of the, even though it's the longest and slow going, because you've got to build everything step by step, it's probably one of the better models and more enjoyable models. So instead of trying to paint every part on the tree, what I do now is I just look at the next section I've got to do, next section I've got to build, paint those parts up, let them sit, build them parts, and then slowly add them bit by bit, instead of trying to go through every tree and paint all the bits. It's just crazy, which is also adding to the time, but I don't mind. So yeah, basically work on the next stage that I'm doing, find all the parts which are on about 4 or 5 different trees. They do send you all over the place.
looking for the parts. They're not sort of in order on the trees. So you could have like 6-7 trees laying around, and as you all know, that is my total workspace. Everything else just ends up on the floor and everywhere else spread out. So anyway, worlds, that's sort of the bottom half of the tank pretty much done. I've just got to do a bit more filling in, fill the floor in. It's really now to whether I really want to take my time and try and glue every one of those little round brass things to the bottom of every one of those ammunition shells. I'm not sure if I want to do that. So anyway, that'll conclude part 3 on the King Tiger build. Hope you like it, and I'll film some more when I get more done. Bye.